Hi students, we are discussing the example problems from the topic haloalkanes and haloarenes, and today we are going to see the next set of questions which is from a single concept. Okay, so the question is, we have to arrange compounds in increasing order of rate of reaction towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. Okay, so the nucleophilic substitution of chlorobenzene is asked. So they have changed the functional groups here and also the position of the functional groups. Okay, so I'll explain and then we will solve the questions. Okay, so it will be easy for you. So they have asked the substitution reaction of chlorobenzene. So this is your chlorobenzene and its reaction towards your base will give rise to phenol. Okay, so what is the nucleophile here? The nucleophile here is OH minus. So instead of Cl, we have substituted another nucleophile which is a hydroxyl ion. So it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, so first of all, we must learn about the nature of the chlorobenzene. Okay, what makes it different from alkyl halides? While the aromatic halides are different from alkyl halides. Okay, so here in any halogen, not only chlorine, so it has lone pairs, isn't it? So it is what? It is involved in resonance inside the benzene ring. So because of this, what happens? The chlorine bears a partial double bond character. This is involved throughout the ring. Okay, this makes a double bond character with the carbon. So this makes the bond even very stronger. Okay, it is a double bond, not a single bond. And another one more thing, okay, the carbon present here, the halogen to which the carbon is attached, this carbon is what in nature? It is sp2 hybridized. It is sp2 hybrid, so more electronegative character. So also for this reason, the aromatic halides, okay, are very much stronger or very much, they will not undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, for this two reasons. What are the reasons, students? So first of all, this carbon is sp2 hybridized. Carbon is sp2 hybridized. And the second point, the carbon halogen bond. Okay, the whole halogen bond is partially double bond. And for these two reasons, the carbon and the halogen bond, okay, carbon halogen bond in aromatic system, in aromatic ring, okay, is very strong. This, for these two reasons, the carbon and the halogen bond, okay, X for halogen bond in aromatic ring is very strong. Okay, so as it is, you cannot knock out the chlorine ring. Okay, the chlorine, any halogen in aromatic ring is not a good leaving group for these two reasons. Okay, so first of all, what you will think when you think of the substitution reaction? You will think about two mechanisms, isn't it? So you will think of what? First of all, SN2 mechanism. We will see SN2 mechanism. So in SN2 mechanism, what will happen? So if you have this thing, okay, in nucleophilic, it is an alkyl halide. So from the rear attack, from the backside attack, you can replace a hydroxyl group here. But is this possible in aromatic ring? Is this possible here? See, if you consider this ring, okay, chlorine, the backside, the hydroxyl group in an SN2 mechanism has to attack from the backside. Is this possible? The backside is almost covered. So the SN2 mechanism is not possible. The backside is already occupied, and another reason is the carbon is sp2 hybridized and the bond is very strong. This carbon and halogen bond is very strong. So you cannot make the chlorine leave as easy as possible. It's not possible. So when you think of SN1 mechanism, so what is the first step? So the halogen has to leave the group leaving a carbocation. If this happens, this carbocation has to be formed. So remember students, for a carbocation, what is the main thing? It has to be planar in geometry. It has to be planar in geometry. Is this planar in geometry? Is this planar? Two carbons on this side? Okay, so not at all. This is very less favored structure, and this structure is very unstable, and it will not be favored at all. So these two mechanisms are not at all possible, SN1 and SN2. But we have in your NCERT book, they have given this equation. The chlorobenzene has converted, you can convert chlorobenzene to phenol. Under what condition? You have to treat with sodium hydroxide, okay, at 623 Kelvin and 300 atmosphere. Such a very high temperature and pressure, very harsh condition. If you do this, you can get this. So what mechanism taking place there? Isn't it? You must think of this. Ma'am, this is not possible. Nucleophilic substitution is not possible. Carbon halogen bond is very strong. But this is given in NCERT. But what mechanism? So we can propose a mechanism. Okay, we can propose a mechanism. So what mechanism has taken place? So based on the mechanism, we will think, okay, what kind of group will favor the mechanism and what kind of group will favor the reaction. Okay, so when you treat with sodium hydroxide, what happens? Sodium hydroxide will come along with the new electrons and it will approach here. So I can write a set of structures. Okay, here chlorine is also bonded with the carbon and hydroxyl group also. Here you have minus charge, so this color I will use. Okay, minus charge. Okay, and what happens? This electron, now it will, so it's a kind of resonance, we can say. Okay, so here and this will here. So you have a negative charge here, surplus of electrons here, and again here. Again this electron is going to move here. Okay, so again you will be having a charge. Okay, electrons are coming and sitting in these positions. You have to think like that. Then what happens? This electron, when it comes here, okay, your chlorine has to go. So okay, after a series of steps, this is taking place. So finally your hydroxyl group has occupied the position. So observe closely. Okay, in all this position, see your ortho, and here your para, and here another ortho. Okay, there is a surplus of electron density. There is what? Surplus of electron density. So in a reaction, in a mechanism, when something is increasing, we have to balance it. Okay, so what kind of groups will favor this mechanism? There is surplus of electron density. Okay, so groups such as, okay, so groups such as, these are called what? These groups, when I write, you can recognize what kind of group it is. So your nitro, okay, your cyano, and all kind of your carbonyl bonds. So it can be your acid, your aldehyde. So anything, any carbonyl. Okay, so these kind of groups we call it as electron withdrawing groups. Okay, so what it will do? See, when there is a surplus of electron density flowing, okay, flowing, we need groups such as, we need to balance the effect. Okay, we need to balance effect. So these groups, what, from the name itself, you know, this will withdraw electrons, this will absorb electrons. Okay, so in aromatic ring, we call these groups as what? We call these groups as minus R effect. Okay, minus resonance effect. This effect we call it as minus R effect. Okay, so what are the groups? Nitro, cyano, and carbonates. Okay, we need these groups to balance the electron density. In which position? So next point. So this is the first point, and the second point is in which position it has to be attached. See, where is electron density flowing? Where are the electron density flowing? Only in the ortho and para position. 2 ortho positions and in the para positions, not in the meta position. So its effect, okay, when it is ortho and para, okay, so the reaction, it favors the reaction. Okay, so your reaction will be favored with by these functional groups, and in what position it has to be attached? Ortho and para. In its position is meta. It's not I will not tell it will not favor, but it is not required. Okay, the effect is very much less. Okay, so this is what favoring. Okay, favoring groups and positions, and we need to talk about the electron donating groups also. So what are the electron donating groups? We know methyl group, okay, methyl group, and primary, secondary, tertiary alkyl groups. Any primary, secondary, all alkyl groups will show what effect? So in aromatic ring we call it as plus R effect. It will donate electrons. It will increase the these groups. What it will do? It will pull electrons. Okay, it will what? It will donate electrons. From the name itself, it will what? It will donate electrons, or it will push electrons. It will donate electrons. So in this case, donate electrons. So in this reaction, the donating groups, what it is going to do? Are they going to favor? No, they are going to defavor. We are talking about a particular reaction only. Okay, we are talking about the substitution reaction of chlorobenzene. For this particular reaction, the electron donating groups are going to defavor the mechanism. So imagine in this position, okay, chlorine, there is a surplus of electron density in this position. If methyl is also present, it will also what? It will also donate electrons. So here the electron density will increase more. The electron density will increase more and it will destabilize. And it will what it will do? It will destabilize. So we need to balance. When something is increasing, we need to nullify it. Okay, so that's the way we have to think. So what favor? The position, if its position in ortho or para, will defavor more. Okay, there is already charge density in ortho and para position. If these groups are present in these positions, so what it will do? It effect will be more. Okay, so will defavor more. Okay, so with this details, we are going to solve the problem. Okay, so first of all, for first question, we have to compare the unsubstituted chlorobenzene, the orthonitro-chlorobenzene and metanitro-chlorobenzene. Okay, so this is what, so increasing order of the rate of the reaction. So this is what ortho-nitro-chlorobenzene. What kind of group it is? It is an electron withdrawing group. It will favor or defavor this particular mechanism. It will favor, and that too in the ortho position. Okay, so this group is also here nitro group, but it is in meta position. This is an unsubstituted. So I told you meta position, something is better than nothing, no? So I'm going to arrange in this order. So first this reaction will go very fast, then comes your C, and then comes your A. You may ask, ma'am, you told me in the meta position, but something is better than nothing, no? When compared to these two, the reaction will be faster here, I can say that, because the presence of electron withdrawing group. And here, we have to compare the unsubstituted chlorobenzene with the orthomethyl substituted and metamethyl substituted. First of all, what kind of group it is? It is an electron donating group. So will it favor or defavor? No, it is not going to favor. Our particular mechanism not going to favor. Okay, so here it is in meta position, so the effect will be less. So the defavoring effect will be less in this position. So first of all, in this unsubstituted, so this will go very fast, and then comes your C, and then comes your B. Okay, so here B, C, A, so your third option, and here A, C, B. So where is A, C, B? So here. Okay, so next, and chlorobenzene, paranitro and trinitro. Okay, here what kind of group it is? It is an electron withdrawing group. It is going to favor, and it is in 3 position. This is beautiful. You know, in NCERT you may be knowing that NaOH is also not needed. Just you have to warm with water, you will get the corresponding phenol, corresponding trinitrophenol you will get. Just no need of sodium hydroxide. See the effect. So here C, then comes your B, and then comes your A. C, B, A, your fourth option. Okay. So first of all, analyze the functional group and its position. So here it is a defavoring group for this particular reaction. Okay, and here 2. So it is more, it will totally defavor the mechanism. It is present twice. So it will be A, and then is your B, and then is your C. Okay, so easy students. So first of all, we need to learn the concept, and then we have to solve the problems. Okay, so then which is the correct increasing order of the boiling points of the following compounds? So when I told you, when a question comes regarding boiling point, okay, more the surface area, I told you, more will be the van der Waals force. Okay, more the van der Waals force, more the van der Waals force, more will be the boiling point, because you need to break all the van der Waals force, okay, to separate the molecule, and then only your molecules will boil. More the, so van der Waals force, more the van der Waals force, more will be the boiling point. So let's write. So this is what iodobutane. Butane means 4 carbon, so this is iodine. Butane means 4 carbon. Okay, then your bromine, 4 carbon, your chlorine, and plain butane. Okay, see, as we go, this is a plain butane and this is substituted. See, as we go up, as we go down, chlorine, bromine, iodine, see the, look at the size. The size of the halogen, increases. The size of this is unsubstituted. So size increases, surface area increases. So what happens? So here the boiling point of iodobenzene will be more. So what is the option? Iodobutane, bromobutane, chlorobutane. So first option. So which of the same concept? Okay, one bromoethane, one bromopropane. Here the carbon, number of carbon atom increases. See, here it is ethane, 2 carbon. Sorry, bromine, no. So here it is 3 carbon with bromine, and here it is what, 4 carbon with bromine, and here it is benzene ring with bromine. So from seeing itself you can tell which has more surface area, this one, no. So the number of carbon atom increases, the van der Waals force also increases. So here in this order, first comes your bromobenzene, 1 bromobutane, propane, ethane, your fourth option. Okay, students, hope you understood from this session. Okay, thanks for watching.